matching hundreds. It's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Buffalo Bills. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a man drafted in the 3rd round in 2019 from West Virginia. It's Will Grier.
Now, the meeting we had with him this week, that's one of the briefer ones we've ever had, isn't it?
He wasn't too happy after last week.
Not happy. Really determined to play a whole lot better, and he really can't play a whole lot worse. He's got to go out and show the team that the goods that he exhibited early are still there. Otherwise, he could lose the confidence that they have in him.
And hoping to get rid of that interception bug. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down. And we look now at the offense for Indianapolis.
Brian Kelly's a great example of how valuable the centers have become in the NFL. A former first-round pick, he was plugged in immediately to be a starter to handle big nose tackles as well as blitzing linebackers, and also able to move and get out into the run game and get to the 2nd and 3rd level and deliver blocks.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
On 1st and 10, Grier. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory, right at the 40. Grier sets to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. This is how they'll line up on the defensive side for Buffalo. They've certainly had their struggles against the run. The 30th ranked unit out of 32 teams in the NFL.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Eli Harrell able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. On first down, Swift. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
On second down now. Swift slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and all of a sudden here it's third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
But when we go back to our conversation with the defensive coordinator, that type of a play was not a surprise to him. He expected trickery in this game, yet somehow his defense, they still took the cheese and got caught in the mousetrap.
Right here, guys. Mike 51. Mike 51. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Hey, Mike 51. Mike 51.
First down, Mariota. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948, Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
Well, the most famous one of my lifetime, I think, is got to be 01, right? Raiders, Patriots, to send the Patriots to the Super Bowl.
You had to go to the Tuck roll, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one people remember. But I also know this. In Miami, the infamous one, the snowplow game. In New England, when they went out there and the Patriots had a guy come out and clear a spot on the field for their field goal kicker to kick the game winner.
Is that 82?
That was 82, and the Dolphins fans will never forget it.
Well, we're not seeing one of those famous games here, but it's fun to be in the snow nonetheless. For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down.
Where are they, team?
It's caught. Lockett. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on fourth down. They'll try and run for it. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. The Colts are going to take over with a football. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
The numbers for Fuller last week. 3 catches, 65 yards.
And he was able to pull that last pass in, but he's going to face a tall order here because he's going up against the number 2 unit in the NFL against the pass.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Myles Jack has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Throwing on 3rd down, Greer. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A gain of 22.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Jack has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Back to throw, Greer. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football because, as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
On 2nd down, Swift. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo 1st.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
On 3rd down, Swift. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
Mariota now to throw on first down. Looking downfield for Jones. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because
he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. They fake the handoff, now Greer. And he's going to go down again.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. On 3rd and long, here's Greer. Into the hands of his tight end, Jeff Swain. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a first down. Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
On 2nd down now, Swift trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
29 is Mike 29. Watch the run.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That 2nd down play nets a -4. Right now, I'm just wondering where they turn on offense, Charles. I know we're not in the fourth quarter, but second quarter haven't scored and struggling to move the ball.
I don't think they abandoned the run game totally, but maybe you change up your tempos. Maybe you go a little bit faster, try and catch them back on their heels a little bit to try and accomplish what you want to get done.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for. Now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, the game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Greer.
This has to go down as one.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he's got some space here. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51. Ricky.
Following the interception here, Mariota. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
This complete to Lockett. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at second and goal. Second down and goal. Mariota to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. It was Minkah Fitzpatrick that time to break that one up. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
They'll come out in the pistol. A field goal would make it a two-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal. This is caught. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Colts defense comes up with a goal line stand. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2. If they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, what's the plan of attack here? Very late second quarter, and look where the ball is.
Yeah, bad spot for you.
Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender.
Oh.
To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Not too many breaks ahead according to the radar. More snow on the horizon as we are back underway in half number 2. This is taken at the 3. And terrific field position here as they finally get him just shy of the midfield stripe.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Around the NFL, an update from a game going on down in Tampa. The Dolphins have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Working out of the gun, Mariota being chased out left. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road in just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun on third down, Greer is going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down.
Let's go.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. Well, earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The throw over the middle taken in, and he'll be taken down, but not territory. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. Greer in the offense with a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll go with Pollard here on first down, as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Here's Pollard again. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On play action. Greer to throw it. Blitz coming, and down he goes. That sack came from the corner. On the corner blitz, it was Josh Jackson.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Greer looks to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Well, no takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Greer. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jerry Hughes able to record his 5th sack of the season. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen. They see the blocks happen. They feel really good about their vision. And then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot. They'll run on 1st down. Swift. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Ready, ready. 18 Gator. Shoot.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Greer, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that zero. Here's Greer. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Micah Hyde able to get a hand in and knock that one away.
Went on 1st down, the offense or the defense. Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
They throw again on 2nd down. This one's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 at the 19. Here's Greer. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. Miles Jack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to break up 4th.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Now it's Greer. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Teron Johnson able to pick it. Dashing through the snow. 30, 10, 5. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Marr now to add the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
That's it, baby. We don't work.
As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eli Harrell in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
My, oh my, they've had some success bringing him off the edge. How about the gambling man who's the defensive coordinator? He's not just bringing pressure, he's bringing a corner to go after the quarterback.
And it's worked twice now, twice like a charm.
And not only has that worked like a charm, he's been awfully disruptive in his usual role covering receivers. Now he's rushing the passer as well.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
57 to Mike. Hey.
From the gun, Mariota. Dancing to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
The Bills on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. And again this time to the tailback. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards that time and a Bills 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
57's the mic. Watch 57. Watch the curve.
They'll try to throw now. Mariota flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are in position.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Colts, as we get you reset, and let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Greer sets to throw, and that is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. On first down, Swift. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the offense moving quickly to the line. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift, and he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Mike 51.
Mariota. Flush to, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or 2 shy of midfield. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And the Colts coming out now. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Greer. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Micah Hyde. It's a foot race. The 30, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
And now the Bills will bring the offense out on the field and go for 2 here. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3.
I know we can sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, Somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, I mean, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team.
And my goodness, another interception. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. A little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Buffalo, it's a 4th win of the campaign as they get to 4-10 on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Patriots will come to town. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, the loss is number 8 for them on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.